And welcome back to Broader Financial Future. Today we got some big news. J&J is breaking up. I'm going to talk about the announcement by Johnson & Johnson to split its company into two. I'm going to focus on the highlights, the dividend, my overall thoughts, and what I plan to do with my J&J stock moving forward. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. It really helps out the channel. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you for coming back. And don't forget to smash that like button. It puts a smile on my face and it makes everything worth it. So let's jump into this Johnson & Johnson news. All right. So if you haven't seen it yet, Johnson & Johnson plans on splitting the company. So J&J will separate its consumer health division into a new publicly traded company. The separation will allow the healthcare conglomerate to focus on higher risk, higher growth drugs, J&J Chief Executive Alex Gorsky said in a written statement. For the new Johnson & Johnson, this planned separation underscores our focus on delivering industry-leading biopharmaceuticals and medical device innovation and technology, with the goal of bringing new solutions to the market for patients in healthcare systems while creating sustainable value for shareholders. That is the big key. They want to create that value, and hopefully the stock price will continue to go up. All right, so let's look at a little more here. When it comes to the consumer business, Gorski says the newly separated consumer health division will likely be a global leader. It will sell well-known brands like Neutrogena, Avena, Tylenol, Listerine, and Band-Aid. So it's still going to have those major companies in there. Now, when you look at the consumer business, it does about $15 billion in revenue, which is not too shabby. So it does bring in nice, pretty profit. Now, the goal is to create two global leaders that are better positioned to deliver improved health outcomes for patients and consumers through innovation strategies. Basically, overall, they're just trying to grow the stock by separating the company. That way, they could be a little more nimble to do what they got to do. Following the planned separation, the new Johnson & Johnson would remain the world's largest and most diverse healthcare company and continue its commitment to lead in global healthcare R&D and innovation. So that's basically what they're really trying to do with this company. And when it comes to the remaining business, the pharmaceutical and medical devices is a much larger business, bringing in about 77 billion estimate in annual revenue for this year alone. So when you look at the consumer side of the business, which brings in 15, this one right here basically dwarfs that with 77 billion. But we're talking about billion here, so it is all to the good. So you can see the potential to unlock value by splitting the company. So let's look at some of the leadership, what's going to happen here. So Alex Gorsky, who is already stepping aside as CEO, is going to remain executive chairman of Johnson & Johnson. And I'm going to butcher this name. Jacqueline Duito, we're going to just call him JD, we're going to call this person JD, is going to still become the CEO of that legacy J&J as of the beginning of January. So this is all going to take place in around 18 to 24 months. That's what they had in the news release. So this is all fluid. It's not going to happen right away. So we're still like a year or two away from an actual transition. So when it comes to the dividend, because that's really what I care about, right? Because I'm mainly a dividend investor. According to the report, the new Johnson & Johnson would remain committed to maintaining a strong balance sheet and the stated capital allocation priorities of R&D investment, competitive dividends, and value creation acquisitions. In addition, they said it is expected that the overall shareholder dividend will remain at least at the same level following the completion of the transaction. Basically, overall, this is 2 years away. We'll find out more later when this split actually comes to fruition. Much like when it comes to some of the other companies that recently split, like Pfizer, and Beatrice. You know, we weren't sure what was going to happen there until it actually happened, and that actually worked out for me. AT&T and Warner Brother, which we're still waiting to see next year, or actually Warner Media, I should say, IBM and KD, and more. So each situation is slightly different. We're really not going to know how it's going to work out until it actually happens. You know, Pfizer announced that I think prior to the actual split, they were considering lowering the dividend, which they didn't. They actually kept it the same. And Beatrice actually provided a dividend as well. So I really enjoyed the Pfizer split. It really helped out a lot. I'm curious to see how this Warner Media split is going to really happen, like how much of a cut of the dividend we're actually going to see. But only time will tell when it comes to these type of things. All right, so uh, some of my overall thoughts are the stock is up a little over 1% since the announcement, so it didn't hurt the stock price. I do plan on holding and possibly adding more shares of Johnson and Johnson. Overall, I think is a good company. I think they know what they're doing overall when it comes to R&D, innovation, this business overall. They know how to make and get money. So we'll see what happens there. Also, it is important to note as J&J prepares to split the company, it's facing a bunch of lawsuits. So that could result in settlement losses as high as $7.5 billion, according to Bloomberg. So they do have lawsuits pending. So there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff going on with Johnson and Johnson. Is this the reason why they're doing it? Who knows, right? They can tell us anything that they want, but there's a lot of things to kind of look out for when it comes to Johnson and Johnson. So make sure you leave your thoughts below. Let me know if you own Johnson & Johnson. If so, how do you take the news? For me, it kind of popped up out of nowhere. Like I said, I do plan on to continue to hold the company, possibly adding some more shares, but we'll see overall as more information becomes available. In addition, just a disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are strictly for entertainment purposes only, and any investment may involve risks. So it's important you do your own homework, especially now with the split with Johnson & Johnson, where you can make the right decision for yourself when it comes to a company split. All right, folks, that's pretty much it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And to help support the channel, click on the links below. Thank you. Until next time, everyone. Peace.